I feel the cool breeze. It's such a lovely tease.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Friday night Posca Paint Party. And we have a super special guest for you tonight. We're going to do some really fun skull painting. But before we introduce Miss Chloe Trujillo, I want to let you all know what you can expect for the next hour. While Drew and Chloe are painting, they're going to be talking, and you are welcome to ask questions in the chat. And you also will have an opportunity to share your art if you want to. And you can do that by hitting the button. There's like a little function where you can hit the raise hand function. And if your hand is raised, I will bring you on. And I would like to invite you all right now to type in the chat your name and where you are in the world, because I know we have people from all over the world. Chloe has tons of fans. Is this going to be fun to see where you all are? Now, I would like to introduce Chloe, if I may.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to bring up a couple pictures as I'm talking about Chloe. So let me just say this about Chloe, and let's stay on this photo for a second. Drew and I first met Chloe. I first met Chloe, a few years ago when we did an art show, and we asked her to show some of her beautiful surfboard paintings. And since then, I have just been kind of obsessed with Chloe and her art and her hair and her lifestyle. And so I was just so excited to bring her here. Let's go to the next photo. Next photo, please. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to read a little bit about Chloe just real quick. Chloe Trujillo is a multifaceted artist who delivers through her visions powerful messages from higher realms, using symbolism and metaphors, linking her previous advanced scientific knowledge to a holistic spiritual approach. Her creations are meant to help unlock the secrets of the mind, inspiring us to free ourselves from self-imposed limitations and thus experience our true state of being, which is bliss.
Bliss, I love it.
Chloe is not just an artist, she's also a designer of all sorts of things, and she's a singer and a songwriter. So,
without further ado, let's say hi to Chloe.
Without further ado, let's bring Chloe on.
Hi.
Hi, let's.
So, should I turn on the other side? No, I'm just facing.
You're good,
I see my back and I see my face. Okay, hi. Hi, everybody. I'm really excited.
Yeah, so we're not too far away. You're in up in Los Angeles, and we're down in San Clemente. And it's just great that we can get together like this. And it's a real pleasure to have you on, because I love your art, and we're going to have so much to talk about, because, you know, I am all into physics and things like that. And I was reading about how you're into that. And I am very loose with my art, similar to you. I tell people I try not to try so hard and just kind of let it flow out of me. And so I'm excited just to spend the next hour with you and introduce you to all these people and just have a good time.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go back into my little room so you can paint.
Yeah.
And I'll be bringing people on and asking questions for people.
And I want everybody to know that we are giving away a set of Posca pens with every paint party. So this is that 15 pack of 7Ms, my signature pen. So somebody's winning that. And so what are you going to paint, Chloe? Of course.
A skull.
A skull. What else? I mean, like,
what else? I'll see how far I go. I'm going to start with a skull, and I'm going to start with the outline and some shading. We'll see how far we go.
Yeah, and so I have something started as well. I did half of a skull on my buddy's surfboard. And this is my friend Ian's surfboard, and it's a Lyle Carlson shape out of Oahu, Hawaii. And so got half of it painted, and then I'm going to show you how I do the other half. And then I have this piece of wood that I'm painting. And this was, what was the girl's name? This is Maris Johnson gave me this to paint on. And so I'm going to do this for her. So that's what I'm doing. Kind of looks like he has a mustache
Very cool.
like me. So yeah, Chloe, while we paint, I was just gonna, kind of do a little interview for our guests. And
Yeah.
And for our guests, for the first half hour, we're really just gonna kind of show some art and what we're doing, and then talk story. And then about halfway through, we'll start bringing other people on. This is your chance to ask Chloe questions and really get into her vibe. I'm sure everybody's going to have a lot of fun looking her up on the internet for those that don't know her. And, first off, we did that show back in Santa Monica, and you brought those boards, and I was just fascinated with all the symbolism that you do.
Thank you. That was fun.
Yeah.
I can't believe it was a long time ago already. It was a few years ago.
I know everything's going so fast. And so tell everybody, what are you painting with, and what's your medium of choice?
Well, usually I love oils, but lately I've been doing a lot of acrylic. I love the Posca pens too, which I've been actually using since high school in France. And then when I moved to the US, I figured they were so hard to find.
Yeah.
But I used to draw on my school books and do a lot of art with those pens, and I still love them. I still do. I use them for surfboard painting, for guitars, and many other stuff. Also canvases and wood panels and all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah. And so, yeah, you bring that up that, Posca was super hard to get here in the States.
Yeah.
I used to buy them in Japan, and then I'd go over and work in France in Biarritz, and they were available there. And I was just like, what? I can get these things everywhere, but I can't get them in the United States. Which
yeah,
really...
why? I never understood why. I actually had to order them from Japan when I moved to the US.
Yeah. Well, we solved those problems, and now we can get them here. So it's
awesome.
All good now. Yeah. So when you're painting, so you're started out with just like kind of the background color, and
yeah, I did that yesterday because I've been working on music during this quarantine thing, and so I didn't reorder any canvases, and I had this old poster paper left, so I gessoed it and I put like some kind of blue background. I love bright colors, and so I decided I'm gonna paint. I can do from here or from there, from here.
Yeah.
So I decided I'm gonna just paint on that surface right here. So yeah, I just prepped that yesterday, make sure it was dry for today. And now I'm just taking some different shades for the skull from like acrylic paint, and I'm gonna get started.
So do you paint? It's just really neat to see your technique, which is, you're really just going for it right on with paint. So there's no because most people, including myself, we kind of sketch out a loose map, but you make your map right with the paint. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because usually I paint. I don't have a. Sorry, am I here?
You're here. You're there.
I never know which way to look. So hi, and so I usually don't have a plan of what I'm gonna paint when I'm in front of, whether it's a surfboard or a canvas or anything. And so that's why I don't really map out some, and then I figure composition wise, it's all in my head. So yeah. And then if you can always go over something if it doesn't work out, if it does not, it's just. So I try not to think too much and beat myself up too much of saying, oh, I should do this. I just go for it.
Yeah, I think it's great because I think, I see so many people, when we're either teaching or answering questions, that they want a sure thing all the time. And you really have to explore.
Yeah.
And I just love that about your art, because it is very loose, and I think it is allowing you to tap into something that is more childlike and is more some kind of essence of, I find just when I try not to try so hard, it just flows a lot better.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
so
It's
I
like
hope a lot.
I went to art school and you study all the techniques and you learn that thing, but it's almost like after a while you get to forget about what you learn. I mean, it's integrated in your body, but then you get to find your own voice and your own way of doing things. And I think that's when it gets like more recognizable, and I don't know.
And also you're just doing this from memory, is that correct?
Yeah. Well, I've painted so many skulls, so I figure, okay, maybe, see, I'm like doing, I don't know if you can see, can you see?
Yeah, we can see good.
I can, yeah, like there,
Yeah.
we're doing
So do
nose
you,
and eyes and.
do you feel like, I mean, I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like I just draw stuff so naturally that I maybe have some type of photographic memory.
Yeah, when it's a subject like skulls, I painted a lot of skulls, so I have some kind of idea of what I've done in the past. Same thing with eyes. Like I've done so many eyes that, I feel the same way with eyes.
I'll
And
have
the
to look when you,
roses and like there's some subject, definitely some symbols that I've done so many times that I just have that in my head.
yeah. And, I tell people, I really want people to get this, that, by letting go, you really do allow yourself to it frees yourself up to be creative and not make something so perfect. But it also
Completely
helps you,
agree.
yeah, find your style.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah.
And so where did you go to school? In Europe?
Well, like we said earlier, I have like a background in science, in mathematics and physics and chemistry. And it's funny enough, both my parents were fashion designers, so they were both artists. But my dad, because I was good at math, he forced me to pursue that in my studies. So I went to university in Paris, which is called Pierre and Marie Curie University. And I did some degrees there after graduating high school and all this. I did 3 years. I'm not sure what the equivalent, I still haven't figured out the equivalent of the American, for 3 years of university. So it's called a license in mathematics. And because university in France is free, I had to go to art school. I had to submit, and this was before internet, I had to submit like some work, some paintings I've done to the Ministry of Education over there and all that, like mail those big files.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was back in the day, and then I got accepted, and so I studied there, and it was great because I was hanging out at the Louvre every day. You have free access to all museums in Paris once you're an art student, and it's just amazing. I was like with my sketchbook in the Louvre and sketching away everything I could see, every day.
God, that is so cool. Well, I find it very interesting because some people know this about me, but I am so into science.
Yeah.
And especially physics. How things work, and as an artist, you're noticing everything.
Yeah.
Essentially it's physics. And I'm just fascinated with the fact that, people say, oh, well, I'm an artist, I'm not good in math, or I'm not good in science, or something like that.
I don't believe in that. Like, really, it's
all the same thing to me.
I agree completely. I think, I was reading this book this morning. It's a pretty cool book. It's about the construction of the universe, blah, blah, blah. And there was this section in there. It's not talking about art, but it's talking about music and how music is mathematical. And then it looped into art. I mean, I feel everything is connected. We're like one. We're all one. So it's it's fun.
That's really cool. And And so, you know, with that, with science and with art, you know, both of us paint with a lot of symbolism. We tend to see and notice these symbols over and over and over again. And that's a whole nother fascinating part. Like, I feel like, you know, some people will mistake some symbols and not know where they originated from. I get really excited to learn about where a certain symbol came from, where it started. And, you know, since we're painting skulls, and you know, your stuff has a lot of Day of the Dead style to it.
Yeah. I'm gonna add later to this probably with using the Posca pens. You know, that's what I like to do.
Yeah, but it's interesting, the whole idea of Halloween and the Day of the Dead. Do you know where that started?
I'm not sure. Do you?
Yeah, and it's fascinating. So at that time of year, at the end of October, they have the Taurid meteor shower. And the Taurids, at one time in our past, we might have gone through a denser stream of that comet that left that debris, and it would have been very cataclysmic for our planet. And people all over the world remember that time period as a time when a lot of people died.
Yeah.
And that's why it's represented by a skull and in remembrance. And it's just fascinating to learn that that was something, that's art that's been passed down in a concept represented by a skull of a real event where they gave rest.
Amazing. Yeah.
And we still celebrate that today. And a lot of people don't know that that's why, that it's a remnant.
See, a lot of things like that are forgotten over time.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing. I learned something today. That's great.
Yeah, so that's kind of a neat thing. And, you know, just with all the symbolism, like, you know, we went to Egypt a couple years ago. Yeah. And it was just so amazing seeing all the petroglyphs and hieroglyphs and all the buildings. And man, it was just so exciting. As an artist, we were in the tombs of some of the pharaohs in the Valley of the Kings, and some of those tombs weren't finished, and you saw where the artisans did every step from the part where they first sketched it out to a master coming, sketching over that to clean it up, and then somebody actually doing a perfect one, and then the carvers would come and carve it into the rock, and then they would paint it. So there was all of that in one tomb showing each process, and it was just amazing. Yeah,
it's amazing.
And all these artisans working together to make something amazing. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. So you're moving fast. Look at you go.
I'm trying. It's hard because talking and listening is while painting. Like, you know, I'm so used to paint like by myself and in my room and or in my studio, I should say, and not have to interact because I'm in the zone. So I'm going fast, but it's still.
Well, you're probably an introvert like me.
Yeah, you know, I think visual artists, like, we like to express ourselves, like, you know, through visuals, basically.
So we feel like we're alone, but we're on with all these folks, and
yeah.
And I'm probably more comfortable painting than just talking, you know.
Yeah.
Like if we were a party with all our friends and stuff, I probably wouldn't talk at all. I would probably just be a wallflower and let everybody else talk. But this is a good time. You know, anybody has questions in the chat, you can put that, and Maria will. Yeah, please.
And before I get to the questions, I just wanted to do a few shout outs because we have people here from all over the world. So I'm going to shout out to Laura in Dublin, Shelly and Sabrina in New York.
Dublin, that's amazing. Sorry.
Yeah, We have a Nico joining us from Turkey. Hugo's in Argentina. We have Shaka, who's also in Argentina. Oh, and Trudy from South Australia. And I also wanted to say we have a Judy Trujillo here who is an artist in Honolulu. And she's also married to a Robert as well.
Oh, wow. Good luck.
Good luck, right? Okay, and then
Wow, that's
you have
quite
a
the
lot
coincidence.
I know, isn't that funny? You have a lot of fans.
Or is my husband having a double life?
And then we have a Michael from Sydney and Scarlett from Long Island. Anyway, we have people from literally all over the world, and it's so awesome.
I love it.
There's Kat Ackerman and her daughter Charlotte said, we love Chloe. They're from North Carolina.
Oh, thank you.
We have a lot of people throwing you a lot of love right now.
Oh.
And so I have a couple questions, and here's one that Melissa is asking, and this is a question I wanted to ask. So this is a good one. Melissa says, I want to know how Chloe gets her spiritual downloads.
Oh, you know, it's where should I speak with this?
Yeah, you
Or
just
does it?
keep painting and
Yeah,
talk.
you know what? I'll move the camera to so you don't have to turn around. Go look at your other camera. Let's see. Wait a minute.
This one
Did I do it?
or this one? This one.
Hold on. I'm trying. Wait a minute.
If I look at this one, I can keep painting because then I feel like I'm not back to people. But
There you
it's
go.
I've always been fascinated, and we're painting skulls, and we just talked about you know, Dias de los Muertos and Halloween and everything. But I've always been fascinated with like the mysteries like of life, and it could be like death or what's after death, or you know, things like everything energy. And even when I was studying science, I was already into that, like the quantum physics and quantum mechanics, and all this was very fascinating to me. So I did read a lot of books, and I did study I studied different energetic healing modalities. Like I studied with a shaman, I studied with a big kahuna, I studied with, I became also a Reiki practitioner. I studied with I became an angel card reader. And that's why I made my own decks after, because it felt like so natural that I would make my own decks too. And it's just, doing it over and over, like being quiet and listening to what's going on inside me. And then I started having visions and messages and things like that. And then I had a few premonition, like I would draw something and then it would be a you know, a premonition for something. Like I was like, oh, I drew this like last year and now it's happening. Like things that would just start happening. And now it feels almost natural. So I don't know if that's a good explanation.
No, that's great.
But you know,
it sounds like you've been able to get into the flow. Like I always say to people, like being able to get into the flow of what is. Yeah,
it's almost like letting, you know, but the moment you try to force it, it goes away. So it's not like, it's really the flow. Is that exactly how you phrase it? Because, you know, the more you try, the less it's going to happen. So it's almost like letting go and really just, letting it happen. I don't know.
Trusting, right?
It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
I think learning how to trust, because a lot of people are so hung up on being right and things being perfect, so they're restricting the flow.
Yeah.
And if you trust it, and it's a practice, really.
No,
Okay,
it's
here's
true.
a question for you from, let's see, Paul Boone wants to know, who are some of your favorite artists?
You know, I always love, sorry, I have a hard time like painting at the same time as I'm stopping for a second. But I always loved Middle Ages, medieval artists. I always been fascinated by artists of the 13th century, or, you know, it started, I read this book and it was in French, and it was architecture book about Gothic art. And it went so deep into the meaning of each symbol that is in cathedrals or you know, in Gothic art in general. And it was very religious, but it was very pagan too, because they had hidden some stuff in there. And the symbolism always fascinated me. And the way that some artists were able to sneak in different things, and that meant, so that's when it really started opening my eyes to, you know, seeing art in a different way. So like I love Hieronymus Bosch, for example. That was like always like, wow, you know. But I like, it's such a hard question, because I also love a lot of more modern artists, and I love the Impressionists, you know. You know, once I got into studying art and history of art, I really understood like just understanding the process of each artist made me like them. And so some artists that I would not even really, you know, but look into, then I started really being interested, because it became, you know, learning about their process and the idea behind the art that they were making just make a big change for me. So yeah.
Chloe, do you feel growing up in Paris and, you know, being in Europe, because in the States you don't get introduced to these big Gothic cathedrals or some of this, you know, something like the Louvre, where you see this art that was created hundreds, if not, you know, many centuries, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that is so amazing. It's almost like growing up there, it seems like it would give you so much more access to that old world.
Yeah, it's true. Because, you know, even in LA, I lived 2 years in New York, and in New York you get some art, you get some energy and all this, but you know, the first thing I missed when when I moved to the US, of course, it's the family and my friends, you know, but then after a while, you start missing your environment. Like, you know, I grew up within history, and you don't realize it until you move away. And, you know, like I started missing the walls of Paris, because to me now I see every building as a monument, you know. And being exposed to all that art, and my parents were fashion designers, but they loved art too. So I was always exposed to art, because if we would go on vacation somewhere, and I hated it back in the day, you know, when I was little, I was like, oh, we're gonna go to a museum and all this, and now I realize the value of all of that, you know. And so it definitely influences you when you grew up around that, you know.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. You know, I've been lucky enough to travel, and I just really try to take advantage whenever I'm traveling to go visit museums and places. And, you know, one of the coolest places I've been was actually Teotihuacan in Mexico.
Uh-huh.
And then the Museum of Anthropology.
Yeah, I've been there. I was there. It's just, yeah, incredible.
It is, yeah, it's just mind bending that, you know, people in Mexico were creating such amazing art and architecture. And it's as, you know, I've been to Egypt, and it's just as impressive as going to Egypt.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's like,
yeah. And a lot of people don't realize that, you know, maybe, you know, if you're in the States and Egypt's too far to go and you're interested in that stuff, just go to Mexico City. And it is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So is it okay if we start sharing now? We have a few people that want to share their work. We
Yeah,
ready
well,
for
let's
it?
go.
Yeah, I want to see.
Yeah,
Let-
let's do that, and then we'll go. Yeah, we'll just skip over to a couple people real quick. So we're gonna go to Allison Fitzgerald.
Right.
Allison, we're coming over to you. Let's see. Hi, Allison. Oh, wait a minute.
We're
Let me
seeing-
unmute you. There you
There
are.
you go.
Hi.
We see you. We see you, honey.
Um,
There
Hi.
she is.
so,
Oh, cool.
Yay.
okay.
That looks good.
That's
I just-
awesome.
That's-
Thanks, Allison. We have a little bit of a slow internet
Yeah,
there.
We got to see your.
that's amazing.
Yeah, we saw your painting. It looks really good. Thanks for joining us.
Oh,
Okay,
Sorry
we're gonna go
there.
to, let's see, Heather and Trinity. Heather and Trinity. Wait a minute, that's not Heather and Trinity. I went to the wrong person, sorry. Hey, all right. Technical issue here. Oh, that is Heather and Trinity, okay. Hi, how are you guys doing?
Good,
Let me-
how are you?
We're doing good. Let's see what you're working on.
My mom actually did it. And she was just working on a skull.
We can't see.
We can't say, we're gonna have to come back to you. Sorry, there's a Wi-Fi situation.
Darn.
Sorry about that. I don't know why, but all right. So we're gonna move on to Santino. Santino.
Hi. So I found this helmet in my house. So I'm doing kind of
Oh, that's cool.
When you have it on, it's kind of like a third eye.
Awesome.
It's like an eye that comes out of like the mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And then I'm like I kept working on the one with Jimbo.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So-
That's
Very cool.
Santino's been with us a while. He's painted everything in his house. I'm surprised you had a helmet to paint on.
Yeah, I was also surprised.
Yeah.
So cool.
Right
Thank you,
on, man.
Santino.
Yeah. See you, Santino.
You.
It's been really nice seeing everything everyone's been creating, and Santino's done a great job.
Okay, we're gonna go over to Jen F. Jen, if you are ready, I hope you are. And hopefully, I don't know what's going on with the internet, but it's kind of wonky right now.
Jen,
Hi, Jen.
Hi, can you hear me?
we can hear
Yes.
you. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I just want to show you some excellent artwork from my niece.
Oh, right on.
It's years ago she did this in OCAD. That's one of them.
Very cool.
Can you see it?
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
see it. Looks very Dolly-esque to me.
She's really
Yeah.
good. She doesn't think she is, but she's really good. And this is another one, kind of weird. It has an eye in it. I thought you'd like to see that one too.
Yeah.
Neat, eh?
Oh, so fun.
She's
Very cool.
went to illustrator school, and just want to say to you, Chloe, thank you for your inspiration all these years. Really enjoy your artwork, and I want to buy a
Thank
piece.
you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Chloe, this is probably a good time. Like, what all you do so much stuff in your art. You have it on scarves and on bathing suits. You want to talk about that so everybody knows about it?
Yeah, I started well, because with my hair, I always had scarves in my hair, and this is another example of like not downloads, but just like how the universe works with connection. Is I just thought one day, oh, why don't I print my artwork on scarves. And the following day, I had a friend that worked in Milan in Italy for Versace at the time. Nothing to do with Versace, but she just emailed me out of the blue. She said, "You should make scarves. This is the contact where Versace prints their scarf, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, whoa, like just from that idea in my head, you know, she the next day emailed me all this info. So that's how I got started with scarves. And the way I do the scarves is I take a painting. All my paintings I do, there you go, all my scarves, you can see. I get all my paintings photographed so they become digitalized, and then I will select different elements from different paintings to do a new composition that will become a scarf. So it was kind of like a fun thing to be able to reuse my artwork for something else. And then, you know, seeing like people like wearing my art was like, wow, that's really cool.
It sure is. Well, it's just
So
another good.
I moved on.
Just another good example. So for us who have, chose this as a profession, I mean, all the different ways that we can utilize the art. And it's a good point, like getting all your art photographed. I mean, for me too, I mean, everything that comes out of the studio gets photographed and put in a database. And it's kind of like our hit songs, you're looking for a hit song, and every once in a while you get one, but you have to photograph or record all of them.
Yeah.
And one of your pieces that you don't really like now might come in handy later on. Exactly.
No, I love keeping a record of everything I do and get them photographed and that's how I got to use also some areas, some little different elements of some paintings that I that was like, okay, yeah, what, but some elements were so cool, and I was just like, oh, I can use this in a scarf, and I moved on to making swimsuits and bags and pants, and actually I'm wearing one of my my shirts, and this comes from 3 different paintings actually.
Oh, cool.
So it's a fun process too. It's completely different, Obviously, I like to be manual and paint, but it's fun to just be on the computer and be like, oh, I'll select these roses, and they're gonna be here and that big, and you can move like sizes of things and make certain elements super big and have a background of like stars or whatever else, and so it's a fun process.
Yeah, and so it's also just shows how, like, I had to learn the computer, and I have had to learn so much. And I think a lot of people don't realize as professional artists that all these things come into play.
Yeah.
What about with your bathing suits? I mean, are you designing the cut patterns and stuff, or?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up, both my parents are fashion designers, so I kind of grew up in that world. So I saw my mom drawing new designs, and then they had a pattern maker, and I saw her creating the pattern from things like that. I don't make the pattern, but I can draw something and have an idea of how it's going to look. But of course, after that, I have to go to professionals to do this. But growing up in this world really helped me. And it's fun to do. I never thought I would be, when you're young, I mean, maybe not everybody, but I never thought I would do what my parents did. Now I end up doing kind of what they did. My mom used to paint on the weekends, she did oil paintings. She was painting a lot of angels, I remember.
Oh, that's cool.
Cherubs and stuff.
And your mother was a model, right? Was she a model?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. So we have any more questions?
Cool. Well, I noticed you model most of your products, like your bathing suits and everything. And I love, that's what I love about your Instagram is it's just so fun. Like every day you post something that just makes me laugh or smile or go,
Thank you.
you know, just, you know, you look like you're having fun. You look like you're
Yeah.
having fun. It's just cool. Like, you know, I just love how you model your own stuff and you create it, you model it, and you even package it and take it to the post office yourself. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I do everything myself pretty much. Yeah, I have lots of fun. At first, I didn't want to model, especially my swimsuits, because I'm like so self-conscious. And you know, I had a friend that was a photographer, and I had asked him if he could just take pictures of flats, you know, meaning the swimsuit flat on the surface. And he's kind of forced me or talked me into modeling the swimsuit myself. And that was kind of like the first time. I mean, for the scarves, I never had problems modeling for this. That's the first time that I realized it was actually a lot of fun, because you can be creative with the way you present, not just the way I present myself, but the way I present my brand. And so, yeah.
Your brand, right? I mean, it is you're a creator in so many different ways. And that's true artistry, when you create in so many different ways and then you live it. And, you know, you have a family of creative people, your entire, you know, your husband, your kids, your mother, your father. It's just, you're living that life. It's really awesome. And I love that you kind of broke out of your shyness to model your bathing suits and stuff, because there's no better person to model it, because your art is your personality.
That's what a lot of people told me after the fact. But yeah, it took a little time, but now I really love doing it. Now it's just like figuring out ideas of like, where am I going to shoot this photo to present, you know, this thing and this thing, and, you know, including different things in the pictures, and setting up, you know, some kind of background, or, you know, like just the setting around the pictures. It's actually another kind of art on its own, you know, setting pictures.
Yeah. I just love seeing all the different applications. Like, you know, when I saw your surfboards, and, you know, of course I'm known for doing surfboards, but then I saw yours, and yours were done so different than mine and so cool looking. And then also I painted a lot of guitars, and I know you've done some guitars too.
Yeah.
Were the first ones for your husband? Or
yeah, actually it's a good story. So I kind of slowed down with work when I had our kids, and my husband was touring a lot. So I said, you know, so we can be together as a family when the kids are babies, I can, you know, take advantage of this time to travel. And my husband was in Europe, had to be in Europe for a while. So being from Paris, and they were hubbing in and out of Paris. So this was perfect, not because of me, but because, you know, the other guys like Paris too. So, yeah. And so so we decided to rent an apartment in Paris for about 3 months, because that's how long they were going to be there. And which was awesome for me and for my kids. I hope that they enjoy their experience. Probably they don't remember a lot of it, but just showing you know, my kids where I grew up, you know, the swing I used to swing at in the Luxembourg Gardens and all this. This was awesome. But so we were in Paris, and then my husband just had received this blank guitar, just wood basically, and he gave it to me, and he said, do something with it, please, put some art, do something with this. And so I'm like, wow, I don't have anything with me. And then I thought, okay, I have some like art supplies that from way back when, they're still in my dad's cellar. So I went there and I found all my pyrography, so it's the wood burning tools.
Yeah.
And that's when the first like Aztec base was born, actually. As like the first art I did on the base was wood burning. And then I did some varnish on it to create like different tones. And that's how it got started. And then when we got back to the US, he gave me another one, but this time it was a guitar that was finished. So I used the Posca pens actually, and I drew a skull and roses. I did like a Dias de los Muertos kind of vibe for Robert, and then, you know, varnished it and everything. And then the guitars kept coming. So it was great. Kept me busy, you know.
That's awesome. I like painting guitars, but I hate it when somebody sends me, you know, crazy guitars with all the components on it. I very seldomly get a guitar that's like just wood. Somebody just drops off. I'm like,
I know,
oh.
that's the easiest thing is just to get like a blank, like a guitar that's like with all the electronics out and everything, because it's so hard. It's so hard to work around all the stuff.
God, so he obviously is very supportive and loves all the art. And God, how cool! Have a guitar painted by your wife, and it's like totally.
Yeah, I mean, I always felt like every time he's playing it on stage, I'm like, oh wow, it's like, I'm there. You know, it's a little bit of me on there too. You know, it's just fun.
Yeah, and so let's see how far you've gotten on your painting.
Oh my God, I'm trying to talk at the same time, and I'm just like, I can't even see anymore because I'm like, oh.
Okay, well, we have a lot of people with their hands raised, and we really only have 10 to 15 minutes.
Let's talk to them. Let's talk to everybody.
Yeah. So, okay. So I'm going to bring on Galacia, which I think she's in Florida, if I remember. Galacia, we are going to bring you on.
Hi.
Hi there. Trying to unmute you. Wait a minute. It's not letting me. There we go.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Hi.
Okay. Hi, guys.
Hello.
So while you're talking, I'm like trying out this cool thing. It's
very cool.
That
Can
looks
you
great.
hold it up and keep it there for a sec?
Very cool.
I wanted to show you the board that I was working on before. I actually finished that. So you go over here. It's a little dark. Hopefully you can see it.
We're taking a tour through the house. There we go.
It's just across. Let's see, right there.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's super cool. Surfboard. Love it.
Yeah.
You spent some time on that Mandala effect, huh?
Yeah. I was playing with a couple different things. It's for a friend, and she's into horses, and that's her dog right here.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, I kind of had a little bit of freedom with it, so I was just trying a couple different things. And I'm sorry, it's really hard to see. It's kind of dark in this room, but.
Oh, we can see it. It looks really nice. And so is that all Posca, or is it Posca and something else?
No, it's just Posca, straight up. It's all dots. It's just.
Oh yeah, I can see.
Like a million dots. So that's why it's mixed a little different.
Yeah, it looks so nice. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, there are the horse. I didn't see zoom in on the horses again. Oh, that's great.
Oh, yeah.
I have somebody shining a flashlight here now. Is that better?
See better.
And so where in Florida are you?
I'm in Orlando. We kind of go between Orlando and Cocoa because my boyfriend has a house in Cocoa, so we go back and forth. We work in Orlando and then have fun in Cocoa.
Right on. Well, thanks for joining us. Your art looks great. I hope your friend loves that piece of art.
Yeah, she does. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go say hi to our buddy Jason in Colorado.
All right.
Jason.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Jason?
Hey, Jason.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so today, was a day of ideas. I was trying to figure out what to paint. It seemed like I guess I just had to put the energy out there and try to figure it out. And I remember that you guys had this painting party today with the skulls. So I tried to, I don't know, you probably can't see it, but I got a skull with some flowers coming out of it. And then it goes up into like a Mount Hood, like there with an avalanche.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Very
that-
cool.
That was a question that I was asking. I was kind of curious, how do you get your ideas? Do you tap the creative consciousness? Do you just kind of wait for the ideas to flow? Yeah. Then you got to like figure out the color spectrum too, it seems like.
Yeah, Chloe, you just kind of go for it, huh? You get inspired
Yeah,
by places.
Yeah, I go for it. If the minute you start thinking too much, then it's like, it's like just, like the writers, they say just write whatever, just start, and go for it. That's when it starts coming through. Don't hesitate. Even if it's that, even if you're not very inspired, just start. And then, that's what I do when it works for me. I've never had like a block or something. I'll just start, and then one thing leads to another, and then the ideas start coming through, and yeah.
I love that. Have you ever heard, the saying Stephen King said once, he doesn't wait for inspiration to start. It starts at 8 o'clock every day and goes until 12.
Yeah, I've heard that. I didn't know it was Stephen King, but I've heard that, and it's true. You kind of have to just go for it. If you start waiting, then it's just, and then waiting becomes frustrating, and then you're in that cycle, and you can't get out of it. So I just start, even if it's going to be something that you don't like at the end, but it's just starting the process will get you going.
I know music helps me.
Yeah, music
Helps
too.
get you out of it. Okay, let's go say hi to Jody Trujillo. Jody, where are you, Jody? There you are. Hi, Mrs. Trujillo. Another Trujillo on
Yeah.
Hi, Chloe. My husband Robert's a musician too, and he used to go to all the NAMM shows in California. And one of the NAMM shows gave him your husband's name tag on accident. So everybody kept trying to take pictures with him.
That's funny.
Too bad he didn't get the credit card.
Yeah, right.
Well.
He was just so happy to get mistaken for him. He was just like all on cloud 9 when he got home.
He's like, oh, so that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
So
this is
what are you working on, Judy? I mean, Jody. Sorry, Jody.
Oh, very cool.
This is my
Wow.
dragonfly.
Wow. And
Nice.
what is that painted on? That's rad.
It's a paper bag.
Oh, cool.
Oh, it's a paper bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
love
so
it.
cool.
I was trying to do the look of like the old Mexican folk art on bark. I don't have bark. I just used a paper bag, and I did this clear spray a couple of times, and did a base drawing and sprayed it again, and did base colored, sprayed it again.
Yeah. You could even do like some type of like paper mache with the bag, and rip it up and then paint on it would be cool too.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. And this, I painted this all with Posca.
Oh, you did? Cool. And what is that painted on?
This is on foam board.
Foam board. Right
Yeah.
on. And
Awesome.
how are things in Hawaii? They opened the beaches yet?
Yeah, the beaches are open. We're allowed to go exercising at the beach, but we've been able to like kick back and have a sandwich too.
That's good.
That's cool.
Awesome.
It's
Well, it's
beautiful
good to see
weather.
you again. It's good to see you again on the paint party.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I love your artwork.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we're going to hop over to Andina. Hi, Andina.
Hey,
How are
Andy,
you?
Hi.
what you working on?
I'm working on, I did one in the first class, that is this one.
Oh yeah, that looks
That's
great.
cool.
And then I got this one.
Oh wow.
But
Very cool.
mhm.
You picking
Thank
up
you for sharing.
you picking up tips from your brother too?
Not really.
Not really. All right.
All right, we're gonna go say hi to one of your brothers right now, Sefe. We're gonna go.
Hi,
Sefe.
how are you?
Hi.
I just finished this one over here.
Very cool.
All
I
right.
like the message. Don't stop
Yeah.
surfing. I love that.
Yeah.
And I was just making a wolf.
A wolf. Well, wolf kind of goes with the skull.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I
Very
started
cool.
with the skull, but then I was trying to make it white, and then I thought about the moon, so I came with it. Yeah.
Well, that's a good job of just going with it, letting go, and you saw a wolf, and so you painted a wolf.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to show one that I already showed, but just because it's one special that I did.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
that's very cool.
So Chloe, these are all siblings down in Argentina. So they're all in different rooms.
Argentina. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Well,
really cool. You did that.
oh, look at that one. That
Yeah.
was cool.
And I over here.
Oh, the eye one.
Nice.
You got
I like
some
it.
So
good,
cool.
Yeah.
good job.
All right, we're gonna
everybody.
go. We're gonna head
Yes,
over to Florida. We're gonna head over to Florida and say hi to Dubs.
Right.
Dubs, you ready for us? Wait a minute.
Hey, what's up,
Here we
guys?
go.
There's Dubs.
Yeah.
Show
How's it
us
going
what
over
you're
Speaking
working
of
on.
Metallica, look at this. This is, I listen to Metallica all day. This is what I came up with.
I hope it inspires you.
Rocking.
We can't
Yeah.
see it, Dubs. Your internet's slow or something.
You know what?
Oh, man.
There we
There it
go.
is.
Now we can see it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
From Metallica all the way, man.
Yeah.
Good to meet you. That's sick. Yeah.
Nice to
All
meet
right.
you. Great
Thanks,
work.
Dubs.
Good to see you, Dubs. You know, Dubs is a good friend of ours, and he loves Metallica, so he's probably on cloud nine. Did you, Chloe? Did you ever meet Tony Squiddo, the guy that does some of the skulls?
Yeah.
For?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's come down and talked to me a couple times. His art's great.
Yeah, he does great work.
And
He's a cool guy. Yeah. I met him many times.
yeah, it's nice that they put him to work so much. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, I just think it's such a cool gig. I mean, with music and art
Yeah.
being so like right now with the musicians suffering so much, it trickles down to us artists, because I mean, a lot of the work that I was going to do was for festivals and musicians, and
Yeah. Same here. I was gonna do some festivals and all this, and it affects all of us for sure.
yeah. So you know, I feel for everybody involved. That you know, that's cool art that's not being created. So we got to do these paint parties to keep everybody motivated to paint.
I love them. I'm gonna join more of those.
Yeah.
Now that I've done one, I'm gonna be like the fly on the
Good.
wall and listening and looking.
Yeah.
Awesome. We have Phil Roberts on. Phil, I want to spotlight you, but I don't want to do it until I get your permission. So you're going to have to like either text me or put it in the chat or something. But Phil is like a master artist, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was working on some masterpiece that we'd want to see. Okay, I'm not seeing anything from him yet, but we'll see. Okay. Let's see who else wants to share. We have a lot of hands raised. Rita, we're going to go to Rita. And I think Rita's in Oceanside, right? Hi, Rita.
Hi, yep, Oceanside. So I went a little bit more whimsical. I'm doing a skull version of my dog.
That's
That's
cool.
great.
Yeah, so she's only got one eye, so I kept the same with that. And letting some of it kind of set, and then I'm going to have some dragonflies going around her.
Very cool.
Thank you.
I love it. You know, you have to get rid of all that white, fill it up with all kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah. I know. I end up doing that last. It's kind of the watercolorist in me that it's the opposite. You save your whites in watercolor.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that going, okay, what do I want for I think I'll probably do the black and green and the purple and have that meld in sort of a solid kind of a background. So she ends up popping out more.
Yeah.
So,
do you feel that by, you know, having these guest artists, it's really helping, you know, be creative and seeing what other people do?
oh, absolutely. Because what I love about the paint parties, it's a different style than I normally do. So it actually pushes my creative brain to think in a different way. And, you know, and I love Chloe's skulls. I actually do love Day of the Dead myself. But I haven't really painted in that style. So yeah, absolutely. I love all the guest artists that you have, because again, it's pushing me to think and express myself in a way that I normally would have gone into what I normally do, which is my watercolor. So yeah, so I love the blending techniques and the different things that you do, you know, just by yourself as well. So yeah, I think for artists of different styles, yeah, it really helps the other side of your brain kick on. You're using both sides of your brain, and when you're doing something different, it really is making you, it makes your brain think and different. So yeah, absolutely. I love it.
Cool. Thank you. Thanks for joining us.
That was such a good description. I'm going to have to like go back to this and write that down because that was really good. Chloe, Hugo from Buenos Aires is dying to ask you this question. Do you ever use spatula? Well, he's asked this question like 5 times and I'm finally getting to it. And it's all caps now, so he really wants to know. Do you ever use spatula in your art, in your jobs?
You know, I used to use them a lot more when I was in France for some reason. And I found recently, I found these old paintings that my mom shipped me, because she shipped me a bunch of stuff that was left in Paris. And I came across like 3 different paintings where it was just like super thick and just like layered on, and it was very, very dark. I had like a you know, now it's all colorful. It was colorful, but it was dark, like in subject wise. So, but I haven't done lately. But I like you know, the same, going with the same idea. It's kind of nice to experiment and try different things, and seeing, you know, people work in different techniques and just trying different techniques, and it opens up a whole other perspective, which sometimes can be helpful. Even if you go back to your own technique afterwards, it just enriches the you know, the process.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, Moth in Australia wants to join us. Moth, we are going to spotlight you in 1 second. If you're ready.
Hey, how are you?
We're good. I'm not sure that's Moth.
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
Oh, there you are.
That's the homework from last week I haven't done. Here's some I've got my 2 daughters who are 5 and 7.
Oh,
and,
look at that.
I just do the outlines and they do the rest.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
I've got, you know, some other works. Of course, the fridge gets done.
Nice.
And yeah,
you guys are painting everything.
Yeah, I love it.
So yeah, here's Chloe, 5-year-old, was just finishing this morning. That's Ursula from The Little Mermaid when she turns onto. And this is what they've been doing since this paint party's been on today. So.
Oh, very cool.
Listening to the about the skulls.
Love it.
They're definitely
I love it.
let's see what's. I haven't even been looking at this. The girls are really shy about it, so they didn't want you to.
Yeah.
Didn't want you to show them, but here's Chloe.
Very cool.
Say hi.
Hi.
Hey.
Emma.
Great work. Hi.
Good on you. Good on you,
There's the
Mom, for
ocean.
getting everybody painting.
Hey, thanks for putting me on. It's great to join in.
Yeah, man.
You got a nice view. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so nice just seeing everybody from all over the place.
It's great. We're all doing this. I love this idea. You guys like really. I applaud you. This is great because we're all stuck at home, and I mean I'm painting every day or drawing or sketching, but it's so nice to see everybody being creative and getting to work. And we're all together, we're able to see each other.
Yeah. How far have you gotten?
So we're about 5 minutes over, and of course we always go over on Fridays. So I'm going to blaze through a few more people that have their hands raised.
Yeah,
and
please.
just so everybody knows, if we don't get to everybody, we try, but there's always Monday next week and Friday next week. So we're going to go to Bonnie Lawrence. Bonnie, are you ready? Hi, Bonnie. How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Awesome.
Good.
Nice to see you.
Great. Well, I'm going to show off 2 of my paintings.
Okay.
One is behind me, so hopefully I can show that properly.
Oh.
That is a 30 by 30 inch canvas, acrylic on the canvas, along with crystal embellishments. And you can imagine how I had to stretch to do this because I'm only 5'4", and that's a 30 by 30 canvas. So it was And then the other signature piece that I love is this one over here. If you can see it, the blue one.
Yeah.
You sort of kind of see it. That is a 20 by 20, I believe. Yeah, a 20 by 20. It's also acrylic on canvas with crystal embellishments. And what's fascinating to me is that I actually paint using a template for now, but this is encouraging me to loosen up more, to be more open to ideas flowing to me. And it's interesting because as we were talking, as I was listening today, I was visualizing more artwork to work with. So I will get my studio set up. I moved up here a few months ago, so things are not quite the way I want them to be, but I'm working on it.
Right.
So
Thank you so much, Bonnie. It's so good to see you.
So good.
Your pieces look great.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to hop over to Shayna. Shayna, hope you're ready. Hi.
So I started this one when we started the paint party today. So
God, you're
cool.
Really fast.
It looks good. You're beating us. We're like painting slow over here.
Yeah, I'm painting so slow because I can't talk and paint.
I can never even compete with your speed.
Yeah, where are you joining us from? I forget.
Oceanside. This is
We're in
also working on this. It's acrylic, but these parts are Posca too. So it's just showing that I can use my Posca over my acrylic.
Oh, I love that fractalization you got going in the background.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I love that background. I love the whole scene in the back. It's so cool.
Thank you. It's a commission for somebody. It's Peanut from 311. That's what they wanted. They wanted the flower of life and all that. So we just put it all together.
God, you're doing a good job.
Thanks you so much.
Yeah,
you guys are doing great.
All right, we're going to hop over to Draw Daddy-O. Draw Daddy-O. Whoa.
Cool.
Oh, there we go.
All right, I'm taking a picture of this one.
Now that's a skull.
Yeah.
And by the way, I want to just mention to everybody, if you're on Instagram and you have any art that you created inspired by one of these paint parties, please tag Brophy Art Academy and tag our guest artist, Chloe. We'll actually put Chloe's Instagram in the chat and tag Drew Brophy also.
Good job, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Thanks for sharing. Okay, we're gonna go over to Shaka. Shaka, 1 minute. There we go.
There he is. You're on a helmet too? What's up, bro?
Oh, I love it.
Wait a minute.
Let's get him on.
Oh, cool.
There you go. You should be unmuted. Barely hear you, but it's looking good. You got your guy there?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to send us a picture when you get done.
This is really cool.
Yeah.
I like that helmet thing.
Yeah, you're in competition with Santino. Let's see who finishes first.
Cool. All right, now we're going to go over to Mario in San Antonio.
Hey
up? Guys.
Hey Mario, we saw you earlier by mistake, but how you doing?
We're doing good. I got some friends here that are teaching how to paint.
Right on. Welcome everybody.
Awesome.
This is one I'm on right now.
Very cool.
That's
Started a little earlier, and combining your style and a little bit of Chris Dyer in there.
Yeah, it looks good, man.
But yeah, everything's going great. Appreciate it as always, having you guys do this every week.
Right on. I hope you're enjoying Chloe's work. I mean,
amazing,
so
amazing. Yeah, it's just like we're looking at it right now. It's just in everything you guys were talking about and getting inspiration and just pulling it, you know, from being a little bit more spiritual in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find this spiritual helps sometimes.
I just find it kind of interesting that so many artists I know, including Chris Dyer and Chloe, that we're all kind of on that same path as artists. That you know, especially when we talk about the physics part of it. Like once you really kind of understand physics and higher math, it's all too perfect, and it leads to intelligent design and beauty, really. So I think it's neat that we're all on that message.
And I just realized, I was going to share some of Chloe's artworks, and I didn't. So I'm going to do that real quick. I'm just going to slide through some of the photos that I have of her work. I love this picture because it shows you with madly at work with, surrounded by your art and your mediums.
And that's what it's like. I mean, like my studio's like that, Phil's on here, his studio's full of art.
I'm wearing my pants too.
Yeah.
That I designed.
Now I'm going to order some of your clothes, by the way. And I figured I didn't have time to be able to wear them by tonight when I decided to do that, but I am going to, because I just love everything you create. There's another one.
Oh, I like that one, the flowers and the eyes.
That's all Posca also, that one.
Yeah, and I notice you do a lot of birds. You paint a lot of beautiful birds.
Mm-hmm.
And hands. And you have a lot of recurring symbols in your work. I saw a really good photo of this guy's Jay Phillips.
Yeah.
Just surfing on this board.
Yeah.
Where's a good one? Oh, this is like one of my favorites. Is this a recent one?
This was a couple years ago.
And you still have it?
Yeah, I still have it. I actually hung it in my, I don't know if you see on the Instagram, I have a pink cave where it's more my office where I have it on there. So I still have it.
How big is it?
It's not, this one, it's not that big. I'm not good. I'm still in the meter thing. I'm not good with inches and stuff, but it's about like, if you see me, it's about like this. It's a square. It's like big.
Maybe like a 24 by 24.
Maybe.
Something like that. Okay.
So Chloe, do you feel like, because all of the artists that, I've had on, everybody paints eyes. All artists do. I mean, what do you, like, always get a lot of grief on social media because they are reading way too much into it. But for me, I mean, the eyes always like, it feels like, I mean, as artists, it's the way we see the world, but also it's kind of, to me, sometimes I'm like, I look at my hands, I'm like, what am I? Like, almost like that inner eye is what you really are. And is it how, what's your thoughts on that? Or how
I feel the same. I feel it's the inner eye. I feel like when I get inspiration, it's through the third eye or the inner eye. It's like the eye that you view. Like I said, when I paint, I don't have a subject that I'm copying or that I'm not copying, but replicating on a surface. It's from the inside, so I call it my inner eye. And eyes have always been fascinating, but I agree with you. I know I get a lot of comments sometimes where, regarding the eye, but eye is a big symbolic thing. It could be like a protective symbol. It could be any, the third eye, the all-seeing eye, all this stuff. But yeah.
And it brings up a good point that, especially as I learn about more symbols and how they were used and whatever, a lot of symbols have been hijacked and have been, just because one group of people have used a symbol as their thing doesn't mean that you can't paint eyes or, the swastika is another one that's, been hijacked. And it's
that you see in old Indian, like you see it everywhere before, the Nazi regime, and then they took on a whole different, meaning afterwards. So,
And so for me, like, I really like digging into that history to uncover the real symbol. Like, what are they trying to say? So in the swastika is more of a sun symbol.
Yeah.
And which I find very interesting. And then just the eye itself, like I noticed you had a logo as an eye, and my logo is an eye too, because my dad used to draw eyes all the time.
Yeah.
And my dad's
eyes are fascinating. I think when you look at somebody's eyes already, you can tell a lot about that person. So I think eyes are always a strong symbol.
Yeah.
I love painting eyes. Eyes always come to me.
Yes, especially if you're aware. If you're hyper aware, the eyes will tell you.
Yeah.
Or in a painting, your eye, if you do the eyes wrong, it really messes up a painting.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Yeah. Maria, let's see if we can find some more questions.
Okay, so, well, we're pretty much out of time. So I was going to just pick maybe one more person to share. I was trying to get Phil Roberts' attention, but Phil, do you want to share what you're working on? Just nod yes or no.
Phil wants to do something.
Oh, he does. Okay. All right. We are bringing Phil. We saved the.
Oh, that's awesome.
Phil. Hey, Phil. Say hi to Chloe.
Hi.
Hi, Chloe.
Hi. Very cool. I love this.
So,
we lost you, Phil.
Did you just mute yourself, Phil?
Phil, awesome. Yeah, maybe he muted himself.
He probably.
It's so cool.
All right, I'm trying to fix it.
There we go. Maybe it was me.
Okay,
oh, yeah.
I hear you.
Great job, Chloe. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you. That was awesome. I love that boat and the waves and love that.
Yeah, just
very cool. I love to see like what everybody's doing. It's very solitary usually when you paint, and like doing this kind of thing and seeing what everybody's doing is cool.
It feels like you're hanging out with a bunch of people, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does. Well, Phil's a good friend of ours. He's such a good artist. You finished that painting yet, Phil, behind you?
I muted him.
No, Maria muted you.
I do that to all my men.
He's doing something in the background.
All right.
Look at that. Oh,
awesome. Very cool.
Great portrait, Phil. Lucky people that get that.
Yeah.
Phil, I'm surprised you didn't do a portrait of Chloe.
Yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed you didn't.
Hopefully I'll come next.
Well, we are like way over time, but it was really hard to cut it off because so many people, just so you know, there were so many comments in the chat, so many people saying this was amazing. This is like my favorite paint party. Chloe, there's another Trujillo family. I think they said they're in Garden Grove. There's
another one.
Yeah.
Too many Trujillos. What's happening?
There's a lot of Trujillos out there.
Let's see how far you got on your paint. Can we go to your camera?
Not very far because of the talking. Can you
That's
see?
okay. Let's see if we can get Jillian to go to the camera. Or is it Jillian gone?
No, Jillian.
I've lost your other camera from my gallery. I searched Chloe, but it's not coming up.
Okay, let me move. Okay, hold on.
I think it's your computer is working.
Okay, so I'll turn off the phone one and then I'll move the computer. Oops.
There we go. Whoa,
you got a lot done. That's good.
No, it's. I mean, yeah, it's hard to talk and paint at the same time. Like and plus I want to see what everybody else is doing. So, but yeah, I'll for sure I'll continue working on it and yeah, I'll share the rest of the process.
Yes.
On my Instagram.
No, you got a lot done. I got half of the surfboard done. If you want to, Jillian, if you want to see on there, if you post on mine.
Hide spotlight.
Very cool.
The board's so big you can't see it all.
I know it's hard.
But if you're on here, this is your board. And
for Ian Wallace.
My friend Ian Wallace, and I go surf up in San Francisco and Mavericks with. And then I got that. I actually got a lot done on that.
How do I? Yeah,
there we go.
That's cool.
That is really cool.
And
I love that.
Can I have this?
I don't know what to do with it, but
I'm going to keep it because I love it.
I still got to finish it. But
Come on.
So I have a lot of things to catch up on all these paint parties. I got a skateboard and some other. Oh, it's cool.
Now I know what I'm doing for Halloween this year. This is awesome.
Yeah.
This is going to be the easiest costume ever.
And Chloe, thank you so much for being game to do this.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for having me. I love it. I really want to join on the other ones, but not as the guest artist, but just like as a guest artist too. Why not? But this is so fun.
Hang out and paint. And can you tell everybody how they can find you? Obviously, Instagram, right?
Yeah, for now, Instagram, Chloe Trujillo. That's easy. It's my name. I have a website too. That's chloetrujillo.com. Very easy. I'm more active. Obviously, I'm very active on Instagram. So to keep in touch and everything, that's the best way. You can also sign up to my newsletter from my website. And I send, when I have events or when I have stuff going on new products or new things, I send newsletters out. And that's it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks. And just to let everybody know, we are going to put the replay of this on the Brophy Art Academy YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. So we can, if you missed any of this, a lot of people kept asking some questions that have been answered earlier. So you can just go back and watch the replay.
Yeah.
So thank you. And thanks everybody. Have an amazing weekend.
Yeah.
This was so much fun. We will see you all next time.
Yeah. Thanks,
Thank
Chloe.
you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.